Dave's here.
Dave's home.
Dave's here.
Yep.
I love it. The crackle.
The food always ends up like, for some reason, this table is like tilted this way.
Well, it seems to be your theme, so you're the one who's chomping in the microphone all the time.
You betcha. I sound like a horse when I eat anyways.
So
All
speaking
right,
of
so-
horses, what do you not have done at the barn yet?
What have I not done at the barn?
Yeah, that we couldn't be there tonight.
The doors.
God, Sarah
The
decided.
door-
Sarah,
the
I was
doors
gonna,
aren't on there.
I was planning on having us do
Well, you don't close those doors anyway.
no, but I was going to set up upstairs.
The mood lighting.
Yeah,
Oh,
And then-
looking at the bathtubs.
and so now there's like sawhorses and saws and dust and everything else.
All right.
Whatever.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
Plant formation.
Yeah. Been hearing that for 18 months.
Yeah, exactly. Getting close to be cold now.
What did you call them?
We'll do
This
it
is
when
really
the
good.
bar's ready. Bar's not ready. We'll do it when the barn's ready. Barn's
Dude, too
not
many
ready.
projects. Too many projects.
No, if you'd ask for some help, maybe you could get some of those damn things done.
Yeah. Well, I'm at a point now where it's just like write a damn check.
All right. So you're going to cover all of them, right?
I'm going to cover all of them. Yeah,
Okay.
I did the research on
Okay.
most of them.
Okay. So I'll say we're going to do 3 or 4, depending on
Sure.
how far we get.
So Kurt's not doing one of these?
Nope.
Man, we're going to be done so much faster. This is going to be awesome.
Wait till you hear my intro.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's a 20-minute monologue.
Did you know that bourbon was started in 1700?
Okay.
I'm not even going to bother counting you in.
5, 6, 7, 8.
That's a chorus line. All right. Hey, everybody. Oh, what episode are we on?
Do you listen to our podcast?
No, I don't. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Bourbon Boys, the podcast where guys get together to talk about bourbon, about life, lore, and libation, and everything that comes with being a dad. We are not bourbon snobs, but we're just a bunch of guys who like bourbon for what it is, how it tastes. Pretty simple. This is podcast number 27. I'm your host, Kurt, and I am here with my Bourbon Boys, Elton,
Hello.
Kratt,
Hey.
and Dew.
Yo.
So tonight we're going to do something a little different. We're pushing down a theme of the road trip, and Derek's going to take us on a little tour of 3, maybe 4 bourbons from his trip up the East Coast, from Massachusetts down, correct?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Any direction works.
Excellent. And so anyway, as always, guys, glad we're back together, and it's good to see all of you, at least most of you, Dave. And so let's taste some bourbon, and let's get started. So, Derek, you want to take us off and get us going?
Sure. We're going to try, like we said, 3, maybe 4 if we can get to it tonight.
We can do it.
You think so?
I have
Power
faith.
through?
I have faith. I have a driver, and I have faith.
Alton's trying 4. But we took a trip up to Massachusetts and New Hampshire this summer, and along the way, it was just Deb and I. So we could stop whenever we wanted to, and every time we pulled into a different state, she was like, "Why don't we stop at an ABC store, liquor store?" And
Deb
see what's
really
around.
said that?
She did, and I was like, "Are you for real?" All right, we're doing it.
Good woman.
I'm confused. How are you and your spouse on a trip by yourselves?
I don't know. It worked out.
Does that
glorious,
happen?
isn't
It worked out.
That happens again?
It happened. It will happen.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Okay.
coming. It's in your future.
Love it.
It was
Yeah.
really nice.
That's cool.
Just the two of us.
Good.
Yeah, stop when you want to, linger. Nobody's
That was
bitching
it.
about not being there or hungry. Or
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I was hungry.
Well,
I had to pee every 2 hours, but
Yeah, right. Well, that comes with being 50. That's just part of the course.
yeah. But we would. She would load in liquor store, ABC store, whichever state type we were in. We'd pull off the highway and kind of ramble down some country roads and pop into some really sketchy places and some pretty cool
That's cool.
places. Yeah.
Very good. Did anybody recognize you?
No. No, we
Hey,
left-
you're
we
a
left
bourbon boy.
You're one of the boys. Yeah.
Not for lack of trying though. We were selfishly,
Did you use a bathroom in everyone and put your business card in the stall?
I did. Yes.
Just checking.
Yeah.
right.
So there's 4 we're gonna try tonight. 2 of them I picked up in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. One West Virginia, 1 Pennsylvania, 1 in New Hampshire, and 1 in Massachusetts.
Okay.
They're all from different places too, so not necessarily distilled in those states, but
Right.
just
Yep.
cool looking things.
Got it.
So let's start with one we picked up in Massachusetts. We're going to start at the low end of the proof.
Okay.
And I believe chicken cock is the lower proof tonight, at coming in at 90.
All right. Tell us about
I'll tell you about
chicken
this one.
cock.
Chicken cock, because we're 12.
Whoa.
So chicken cock, I mean, at first...
Wait a second.
Yes.
Were you just calling me 12?
Was it we're 12?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
So we're going to giggle every time we say cock.
Okay. Or drink.
So Chicken Cock is a revival brand. It was actually originally distilled in 1856. Became the
With candy corn.
with candy corn. Became the house whiskey of Cotton Club. So the original Cotton Club. The distillery burned down in the 50s, and so that put an end to the brand. Grain and Barrel picked it up in 2016, and it's now aged and distilled in Kentucky. And I don't know. I've always seen the bottle, and it looks pretty cool. It's got like a chicken wire texture to it.
It's almost like a honeycomb.
Yeah, it is a honeycomb.
Well, I guess that's chicken wire.
Yeah, there's chicken
Yeah.
wire.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah,
We
but
came
chicken wire
full
is-
circle.
Chicken cock.
Chicken wire is bigger, though.
Chicken.
Well, whatever. All right.
Depends on how big-
So-
depends on how big the chickens are.
Really big chickens.
Seriously.
So
All right.
this one, it's got kind of a mahogany color to it, a little bit more on the orange side than perhaps the brown side. It says on the nose you're going to get a little bit of oak, sweet notes, dried fruit, caramel, and vanilla
With a hint of Parmesan.
with a splash.
That's
of Parmesan.
interesting because I was going to say there's a little spice in it, but obviously I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. It's whatever you taste, right? So the mash bill on this is 70% corn, 21 rye, 9 malted barley. So 70% corn, you expect it to be a little bit on the sweet side. Still 20% rye, so you get a little
It's
bit
not
of bite.
bad. I'm not loving it.
Yeah, but, so I've actually tried this a while back. I can't remember how I got a hold of a bottle, but it is a lighter color. So, and then the 90 proof, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be nice, sweet. You get it on the nose. It's got a great like vanilla
Yeah, it does.
smell, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be really good. And the follow through was not there. So, what's your guys' take on it? I get a lot of like tannins, just kind of the bitter side of it. Not
I do feel like it has almost like
That's a good description.
trying to think how we use, like we had another one that we tried it on. It has almost like not a thickness to it, but like a little bit of a,
like oily almost.
Yeah.
there you
Yeah.
go. That's
Viscosity.
Yep.
Thank you. Viscosity.
I think you're right. When you said tannins, it was like, that's a
Yeah.
good description. Like it just has it's a mouthfeel
Yeah.
to it.
It goes
Not a-
and it goes away instantly for the most
It
part.
is very short finish.
Yep.
It looks neat. I've seen it, for a couple of years on the shelves at ABC. Found it in mass. I think it's between $50 and $60 a bottle.
Yeah, I think I paid about 50 for it. Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think it's all.
Yeah.
The bottle's really cool. I do
table
like the
lamp.
chicken wire on it and the
Yeah.
story. I'm really not happy with the thin neck on that bottle for some reason. The proportions seem off.
The bottle.
Are we talking about?
It's the chicken cock.
Yeah.
I've never bought it because I don't know. To me, it just feels over branded. I don't know why.
But I did read a little bit of it. Like you said, it was really popular in the speakeasies during Prohibition, and then, like
Yep.
you said, the Cotton Club. So the pretty cool story behind it. Interesting though.
Yeah.
And you mentioned when you read it as well that the distillery burned down in the 50s. Like you can't name a year. Did it burn down over a long period of time?
We don't want to hold anyone accountable.
Well, then the insurance claim gets revisited. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Just
It
arrange.
just felt kind of everything else like, in August of 2016, it was revived. I'm like, well, you gave a
Be
whole
specific
decade
about
for
that.
a fire that really probably happened to.
It was a smolder. It was a long burn.
How long did that sit in the barrel? Does it say, or is
Good question.
It doesn't say.
it a blend?
God, what is it with all the questions?
Well, I don't know. Usually we get a dissertation from Kurt.
Well,
so.
Let me run out to my Google truck
I'm a little,
and get
I'm a
your
little
answer for
thin
you.
on the.
Well, he
the
gave a
background.
mash bill. A lot of times with a
Yeah.
blend, we don't get
You
a
wouldn't get a
mash
mash
bill.
bill. You're right.
True. And it's 2016, so it's no more than unless they're buying.
Unless they're
and
buying
just-
and adding.
Yeah.
So,
But if they're buying and adding, to your point, you wouldn't get a mash bill on it. So
well, 16, that's 5 years. I mean, so
I
it's.
don't think it tastes like a 5-year bourbon, though.
Well,
Right? I would guess that's showing up at 2 or 3 years.
yeah, it's not my favorite. It's, I mean, if somebody offered it to me, I wouldn't turn it down, but Okay.
I'd be okay using this as a mixer.
Yeah.
It's an expensive mixer,
Yeah.
but
I thought you were going to say a table lamp.
or a table lamp.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It'd be pretty cool.
It's like a giant flask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds
There
me,
you go.
Back
it's
to it.
just a giant honey bottle is what it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of your mixer, you could do another one of those fancy fall drinks you've been whipping up
Could.
there, big fella.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when,
Mr.
when's that party?
Yeah. Pumpkin spice
Yeah.
bourbon.
You bring the bonfire. I'll bring the bourbon cider.
all right.
Yeah.
The barn doesn't work, but the bonfire does.
Yeah.
Bonfire always
Exactly.
works.
It's going to be like, is there something broken there that we got to wait for?
I'm thinking
boy.
Saturday. Anybody wants to come over?
Okay. I think we can make that happen. You want to check your calendar?
We have plans.
Okay.
He's trying to think what they could be.
No, I can't keep track if it's Friday or Saturday, but
you're just
yes,
so
we have
busy.
plans Saturday night.
Hey
so
guys,
we
we're
can't make it.
doing a fucking podcast here. Come on.
Oh.
Everything's
Bored.
seriously.
You want to call your admin on
Shut
that one,
up.
Kurt? God.
All right.
What's next?
Moving down the line, that means.
Okay. So we're going to go up in proof. What do we got there? Kinsey?
Well, I think
Or
the Bluebird would be 92.
Okay. Bluebird 92. So Bluebird Distillery is out of Pennsylvania.
Huh.
This one's kind of cool. This one, we saw it a few different places, and Deb was like, that bottle looks really cool. We should try it. And it was in the...
That's what I said about the Hudson. Look
Yeah.
what happened.
okay.
Kurt's still a little
Fair.
sassy.
Fair. But the... oops. Let's see. Where'd my notes go? I'll take this out of the edit. Okay. So we're looking at Bluebird Distillery. This is a 4-grain bourbon. And this one is... typical bourbon is usually a 3 blend, whether it's... You okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. The corn, rye, and barley, or corn, wheat, and barley. This one has all 4. So this one is corn, rye, red winter wheat, and barley. Then they put it into the barrel for a little bit of sweetness and spice. They feel that the wheat... oops, sorry, I gotta catch up. They feel that the wheat gives it like a round good mouthfeel, but
Okay.
you still get the spice from the rye.
I can definitely smell the spice, although it seems to have a little bit of a fruit smell to me.
You are correct. So on the nose, you're going to get a little bit of fruit, dried fruit, sweet spice, oak, vanilla. To the taste, sweet corn, smoke, and vanilla.
Smoke I
You
can
a
get.
smoke. And then
I just ignore vanilla because vanilla's in everything.
I think you're right. I think that's
So,
coming from
caramel.
the barrel,
Caramel.
right? Caramel
And the oak.
Yeah.
Hey, there's oak in it.
So-
Imagine that.
This one was $55. It was in the local craft distillery section, so it was a local feature. It was kind of cool.
Dave's not liking it. You know what it is, though? It's the wheat. I don't think you like the wheat.
Well, it depends. Like Weller, love it. This is too.
Is it Maker's Mark week too?
No, I don't think so. Huh?
No.
Yeah, that was first sip. So let me go at it a little bit.
Doesn't get much better on the second one. Fingers crossed.
So Alton and I've got similar.
I don't know. But I mean, the difference is like I actually like the wheat bourbons. So
This is a heck of a lot.
And I know you guys don't.
Maybe it's the bottle.
It's pretty dark too.
It's really dark.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like a light Merlot.
I don't know. What's your take, Elton? You're awfully quiet over there.
Yeah, I'm
Not a fan?
I'm not a
feeling
fan.
Nope,
I think
yeah.
It's got a little bit of a rusty taste to it, but
There's no bite.
there is no bite.
There's
I will
no
say
bite.
that.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
definitely more of the fruit and the wheat, and
I think rusty is a good description.
it's
Not sure what rusty
I don't know-
tastes like.
I don't know if I've ever eaten like dry wood, but this would be
Now you don't have to.
exactly. Now you check that box. It's
Rusty nail.
Yeah,
in
I
it.
do. I taste. It's like leathery too. There's a taste of leather to it.
Yeah.
all right. So does that take you anywhere, like a road trip that you've been on?
The taste of leather.
I saw
Tell
that
about
movie.
this
Don't
time
go
in-
there. Yeah.
I
about
don't
this
know
time
how
in
to,
Arizona.
I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know what the hell you're doing on your road trips, but mine do not involve leather.
Mine might just be a little more fun than yours.
This one time in Sturgis.
There's one time in Sturgis. That's right. That's exactly right. I was just talking about that today, actually. Not
you?
that, but Sturgis. So
Wearing leather.
no. So when you said that, it reminded me of our trip out to the Dude Ranch.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, right? Leather saddles, like the whole kind of, open fields, whatever. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like the whole idea of road trip is coming back. Like you don't hear about, you do more now, but like the whole essence of road trips kind of faded away because everybody's flying everywhere.
Yeah, it's more instantaneous.
It is. And I think coming out of these last 2 years, you're seeing a definite influx into the whole idea of road trips and people taking more shorter journeys that are more localized. We drove up to Wisconsin. I can't say I really enjoyed it, but
The ride or a ride?
the ride
Okay.
and Wisconsin
Sorry,
Your
Tracy.
road trip sucks.
was over a year ago. I'm still going to therapy about it.
He still twitches when he gets in the car.
Exactly.
Well, when you were on that trip,
Yeah.
was there a schedule and a timeline? Like
No.
you had to be here by then. 'Cause that's a different.
A
feel,
little
too.
bit.
Like,
I
when you're
mean-
in no rush. You
That's
just
true.
Meander, and you're like, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, we
totally agree
did.
with that.
We kind
Better
of
feeling.
we kind of wung it a little bit, but we definitely knew we wanted to be there by a certain day. So yeah, I guess we had somewhat of a schedule. But like we drove to Knoxville and then we stopped and grabbed a hotel and then we drove the rest of the way to Milwaukee and then we stayed overnight there and then we went up to. So I mean, it was. But I mean, there is something cool about it.
Yeah. Did you see anything that you hadn't seen before?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, and we were going to on the way back down. We were going to hit the Bourbon Trail, but everything was closed.
That's right.
So
We went there once.
Did we?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going again.
We're going again.
So, like 6 drinks in, it's tolerable.
You mean sips?
you mean six sips in?
Well, it just
I don't know.
It kind of turns to nothing.
I'll say
not
I
a
don't
fan.
hate it. I think this could actually be an interesting one to mix as well.
I don't know.
would you-
For
Yeah. What
I
do
think
you-
for like a fall kind of like a fall winter kind of cocktail
Like a rusty leather.
to have.
the gimp.
No, but I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
again, I think it's taste preference. I actually like the wheat bourbons. I know you say Weller, but everything can't be Weller.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's other wheats out there that I like, but this one just to me is too earthy. Too
You're all,
barn.
you're all about the earth. What are you talking
I
about?
am, but it tastes like a barn.
Would you say
You
that
have one of
this
those, too.
is like a complex taste
No.
because there's just so many flavors in there? Or it's just
No,
like,
I think in my mind, well, or my palate, I think it's just wheat.
that's what you got.
Just wheat.
Yeah, it does seem
It
kind of
doesn't-
singular and overpowering now that you
Yeah.
mentioned that to have the 4 grains.
Yeah. To end up with just
It was just the wheat.
Wheat.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's complex at all. If anything, I think it's too simple.
One note,
Yeah.
as the snobs say. One note.
Now the guy who,
I can taste that bourbon in one note.
So, but this is another.
Nails.
We talked to Macaulay, a young guy who
Yeah.
came out of corporate America to open a distillery. And I can't remember the guy's name, but I think the guy who started Bluebird was similar. Young guy who was in corporate America and saw the growth, the easing spirit laws or whatever that was, the distillery production laws, and jumped in. And so I think he's probably got a pretty cool story of, getting it fired up with family or friends. So admire that aspect 100%.
Well, then we should get him on the line and call him.
Well, I don't think after
Talk to
our review he's going to want to really talk
Oh, well,
to
that's
us.
true.
Let's re-record this.
Let's re-record this. We
If he gets back
love
to
it.
us. Well, but that, I think that goes to the, the craft distillers that are out there.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
would
lot to
assume.
learn.
I would assume he probably does have a following. If you like, same thing with rye. I'm not a rye fan for the most part, but a lot of people really like it. If you really like wheats, Hudson Bay. I mean, we talked about the bottle, not that far. Hudson's a little greener in taste than this, but it's in the same family. So, if you like that, I would encourage you to try it. But it's not in my wheelhouse.
But listen, none of you guys like it. I'm okay with it, but it's not that we're saying it's a bad bourbon. We just don't like it.
Just different.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
So-
we've tasted enough to know, like, our palates. That initial reaction, I think you had when you threw it back, you're like,
You mean the grimace and the
silence.
squinting of the eyes?
yeah. It's an interesting concept. Like, we've had single grain, just straight corn.
Yep.
Not great. We've had 2 grain, like conviction.
Yep.
Good. 4 grain, a little too much.
Yep.
But, credit for them, trying something different and saying,
Yeah.
how do I keep a little bit of spice, which I wasn't getting a whole lot of. You mentioned that. With the mouthfeel of the wheat, it's an interesting experiment. I don't know if it doesn't say how long it's been barreled, but maybe if it stayed a little bit longer in the barrel, it
Yeah.
gets...
Well, the other
Possibly.
thing that's interesting is, and again, our palates are nowhere close enough, but on their website they talk about locally sourcing, and I think they're out of Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, the Phoenixville. Yep.
So it's like, okay, is
So
there
that's
is there
cool.
any difference to corn
Yes.
and the sweetness there based in
Yes, there
Pennsylvania?
is.
Versus,
I think there is,
So
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
that's another interesting local
I
flavor.
think the corn, I think the wheat, I think everything is different based on soil composition
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
That's a good
another
point.
input. Obviously, I don't think we're good enough to taste to and be like, oh, this one's
this
from.
corn from?
Oh,
this
this
is
tastes
flavor.
like Pennsylvania
This is
corn.
Pennsylvania corn all day long.
Well, that came up when we tried Chicora, the Man of the Mountain, and Dave was like, not feeling it. And we were saying, like, it was all sourced in New Hampshire. So I think you're right. I think the ingredients and the chemistry of those, coming in from different parts of the state and now different parts of the country as we look around the table here.
Yep.
All right, what do we got next? Well,
Yeah.
while you're thinking about
Yes. Yes.
that, Elton, favorite road trip?
Whew, favorite road trip. Geez, there's been a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Hell, my wife. She would rather drive than fly. So, road trips for me as a family, I never flew on a trip until I was in college. So if we went to South Georgia to see my dad's family, it was a back of a pickup truck. When we went to Disney, we camped in the back of that same pickup truck. If we went to Washington, D.C., we went in a family. Guess what? Pickup truck. So road trips for me were all I knew.
Camped on the White House lawn.
Oh, yeah. They didn't like that, apparently. Yeah.
Apparently.
First night was rough.
So getting to, and then when we lived in Kansas City, first married, couldn't afford the tickets, so we would drive out to Colorado, through the Front Range.
Yeah.
Yep.
Two cars loaded down with people, all our age. So lots of good memories and road trips. Took the kids. We were road trippers with the kids as well. So for us, the road trip has been just the norm. So if I had to pick a favorite, wow, that's a tough one. I'll tell you what, the one that was probably surprisingly the most fun, we went to Kentucky Lakes and went camping a few years ago with some friends. And we drove out and met them. And the journey was fun because it wasn't a long one. And, the kids were anticipating seeing their friends. But that was a great experience. I mean, the weather was crappy, but we spent, 3 days, I think, in a, campground environment for hiking, so a little country club golf and just goofing off. So
Cool.
that would probably be
Okay.
near the top of the list.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
Do you have a road trip snack? A favorite.
It's Apple Jacks,
Road
Fruit
Crisp.
Loops, Bugles.
Yeah, this is a new one over here. This Halloween
It's going on my
concoction.
list.
But I'll tell you what my old go to though, because I was typically driving, and the rest of the family would be distracted or whatever. I'd take like Pop-Tarts and stick them in the door.
There you
And
go.
so while the rest of them
Just
are,
thinking ahead.
they were bitching about being all hungry, I'm snacking on brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. So
There you go.
It's those
good.
damn foil wrappers. Are
I know
so
it
loud.
give you
they're
away.
so loud.
All right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, what are we doing next
We're gonna
year?
go to Philly next.
Philly. Okay,
Kinsey.
I like Philly.
So Kinsey, this is, and I think everyone has a revived brand. So it seems like the lead story on most of these, and maybe not the New England barrel.
Did they
or
burn
the-
down too? That's good.
I don't think so. I think it's more of Pennsylvania taking credit for being the first whiskey bourbon distiller in the country.
This is sweet.
So this is a mash bill of 51 corn, 49 barley, and then I read later. So there's some discrepancy that it's a custom blend. Does it say in the bottle or anything? Because it says it's a custom blend later
Backside.
of 2 bourbon mash bills, one 51 corn, 45 barley, 45 wheat, and 4% malted barley. And then another mash bill of 68 corn, 21 rye, 11 barley. So they're both, barreled separately and then mixed at the end, because it's giving you a pretty round, specific proof, right?
Yep.
Like 95.
This one literally disappears as soon as I swallow it.
So it says notes of honeysuckle. I don't know what honeysuckle tastes like.
You don't?
No. I don't think I do.
Wow.
Does it taste like Apple Jacks?
We got to fix that.
Don't judge. Don't judge.
Seriously.
Toffee,
You Southerners are such
unripe
judgers.
orange. That's very specific. Unripe orange.
Oh, that's weird. I
was told
I
not
smell
to,
ripe
I was
orange.
told not to eat those.
That's right. That's why I don't know what it tastes like. And grass, culminating a sweet spice finish. I feel like it's been a spin the wheel of flavors in this one.
I mean, listen, it's again, I'll say it's not bad, but there's not a whole lot to it. To me, talk about complexity or lack thereof.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't get anything from this one.
So this is a, all the reviews online were on the nose. You're going to get brown sugar, candy apple, honey, orange zest, baking spices, and some floral notes, which is
I get some
all
zest.
across the.
I did
Board.
I did smell the orange.
Okay. Palette, cinnamon spice, oak, vanilla, orange, delayed pepper notes.
Sorry.
Why did I know that was
Perfect.
coming? I couldn't
But it says the
played
finish
any better.
is long and spicy, oak, vanilla, toffee, and some floral notes. And,
It is.
and every one of you is like, this, it goes away, it just disappears.
For me, it did. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I'm with you, Kurt. Oddly enough, but I get definitely the citrusy part to me is a little overpowering. I get like, I don't know why I'm getting like citrusy, but like the brown sugar, I'm not getting any of that. I'm not getting any vanilla.
No. I got a good lip burn. Like, I definitely get
Really?
a tingle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on the citrus.
Now, I'm
You're about
actually,
ready to get a tingle here in a minute. When we get to this.
Yeah, no kidding.
Excuse me?
I wasn't pointing at you. I was pointing at that bottle.
Do not
So-
tingle. Don't tingle me.
Don't tinkle me.
I'm out of here. I'm actually, this one to me is like, it's on the, I'm kind of liking this. There's a,
So far.
yeah. Yeah, it does have, and then we figured out from my old fashioned recipe what a big fan of citrus I am, and it does have this the zest. Now, for me, Kurt, it's interesting when I let it like sit on the back of my tongue. It does have a longer finish.
Okay. So maybe I drank it too fast.
Yeah, maybe you
You
did.
need some more? It's a 4-year, too, which, credit for them sticking it out for 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but this one I would actually wouldn't mind having this one in the cabinet.
Okay. This is a $35 to $40 bottle.
Hint, hint.
I will.
You want to check it out of the
Is there
library?
a take home? Is there a take home tonight?
I think
I will say out of the 3, this is my favorite so far.
out of the 3 so far, I'm thinking the chicken cock is my favorite.
Well,
But
that's
what
no surprise.
What I would, oh God, what I would like out of this if it had a little more. I don't know. I'm missing the vanilla. It's like the rich notes, the rich tones are missing for me.
And it's
but
4
caramel
years too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you expect.
I
to
will
get
say
a bit
it
of
is very smooth. Like it drinks very easy.
Yeah, I wonder. So this one is.
Isn't that funny?
Is this?
Isn't that funny?
Isn't that funny? Because it's not.
So this one's out of Philly.
What do you mean
right?
it's not?
Yeah, that's out of Philly.
No, that's
I don't,
what do you mean
I
it's
don't
not?
think it's smooth. I get a
Really?
little bit of a bite to it. More bite than the
I
others
like
so
this.
far.
I'm in the
That's-
smooth camp, but
Okay.
it's interesting. So again, we've talked about all the ingredients and their
Sure.
role in it. To your point, the complexity, the vanilla that's not there.
Yeah.
You know, Philly weather versus Kentucky versus
You
others.
know what, Elton? You and I will drink that one.
Absolutely.
There you go.
But I wonder, again, back to the the
climate?
barrel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Barrel
it's all about
expansion.
it's all about the humidity, the heat, and the barrel expansion and contraction. So who knows?
Yeah.
While we go on the bourbon tour, we should ask questions like that.
think we
Divergent
should.
and convergent.
So geographically, is Philly more north or further south than Kansas City? Back to trivia night and the coldest stadiums.
yeah,
It's-
Philly was not on that top 10 list.
No, it's
It's-
not.
But it is pretty aligned. But I think that has to do with being close to the coast.
Warmer.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I know for a fact that it's south of Chicago because when we moved, we were that much further south, so we didn't get the same kind of weather.
Okay.
So I think it's close to being aligned with Kansas City.
All right.
That was a good trivia night
Yes,
reference.
yes, it is. So I don't know. I'm not loving it so far. It's just kind of an okay night.
So it's a blend.
It is a blend.
And so
Does it say blended on it?
yeah.
Okay.
And so how many but yet they're touting Pennsylvania. How many bourbons are they getting out of Pennsylvania to blend this to call it?
Well, one of the reviews said it's a blend of their own two.
Okay.
One blend was 51 corn, 45 wheat, 4 barley. The second blend was 68 corn, 21 rye, 11 barley.
Okay.
I have to say, the more I drink it, the more I like it. So,
This is true for most things.
It's not
good.
bad. It's not bad.
right. After some point, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm cool with this
That's
one. I
all
like
right.
this. I wouldn't mind having that in the cabinet.
You want to take it home?
Well, what gave you that idea? Okay, sure.
That's so nice of you. I'll be over this weekend. All right. So before we go on to the next one, Derek.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry.
chew your bourbon.
Chew, favorite road trip. It can't be the one you just did that bought all this bourbon.
And your new pick 'em up truck.
Pick 'em up truck.
I just did a 3,000-mile road trip.
Yeah, but you're by yourself to Chicago. That doesn't count.
It was pretty cool though, because you're at your own pace. Get to see everything. But I do. I don't know. I really like road trips with Deb. I think we're good in the car together. And it's nice to stop and just kind of wander and not be a rush. I think that's my biggest thing is if I have to be somewhere by a particular time.
Yeah.
Not a fan of.
No, I'm the
miles
worst.
on.
I am literally the worst on that because I am
Destination.
backtracking at like
Yeah.
15-minute increments of.
Exactly.
Got to
Yes.
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's traffic.
Yep.
Whereas if you're not in a rush,
That'll be us on Thursday when we're trying to get to Kentucky.
Exactly.
It might
Yes,
be.
we will because we do have a deadline
yes,
for a tour.
yes, you do. But I think if you're
We'll
not
be
in a
hammered
rush,
by the time you guys get there.
That's all right.
We will too. Yeah. Our two brides don't drink, so
That's right.
we get to start about 100 miles out.
That'll be coming in the
that's
back
right,
seat.
yeah,
We'll be
that's
drinking in the back seat.
you throw that out the window when you pull up.
Yep.
That's right.
One down.
One down.
Yeah, I just like the wandering. I like to pull over and take a photo of something or just try someplace off the beaten path.
Yeah, that's cool.
Local coffee shops or sandwich shops. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool.
it's just fun.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's a lot to see out there.
Yeah.
It's a big country.
And if you can get off of like 95, because like if you're on 95 and it doesn't matter what state you're in, it all looks
No.
and feels the same.
It's a lot like 77.
Yeah.
Like 85. Yes,
Yep.
agreed.
So if you get a chance to just get off and wander, that's the.
So that's we use Google Maps.
Yeah.
That would be the one setting I would like request to be like, give me like local diners or coffee shops.
Yeah.
So like when you travel or whatever, because we're the same way. It's like, let's get off of this. I don't mind going 20 minutes out of my way to get, Irene's coffee or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Just please don't show me the 15 Starbucks on the way or the 37 Dunkin' Donuts.
SEO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's true.
Yeah.
All right. We got New England Barrel Company. We're on number 4.
This one's hot.
Why don't you read the label? Help us out.
New England Barrel Company.
Read the part.
Good
Read the
start.
top part. This is
Read
what
the
it's good
small
thing.
words.
Small.
Where's the? Don't they like have that handwritten on there somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's coming in.
Oh yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
read that
That's
one.
where
Kurt.
I was. You kept telling me to go to the back.
See
That's what you get for listening
Small batch select, batch number 2021-03, straight bourbon whiskey aged for 3.5 years in Craftsman-made American white oak barrels, bottled at cask strength
Yeah, it
and
is.
non-chill filtered. Alcohol 59.34% by volume 118.68 proof.
Kurt is scared.
I'm not scared.
Oh,
got
you're scared.
It almost
I'm
looks like,
really not.
Oh, you're
I don't know if it's
scared.
like your shirt.
Why would I be scared?
Because you've never liked anything over 100 proof.
No, that's not true.
That is so true.
Whatever. And I'm drinking it neat, just for the record.
Nice
Yeah,
job.
Kurt has not had an ice ball all night, so we're very proud of it.
It's amazing what puberty can do.
He's all grown up now.
I may have to ice his balls after this one. this is smoking. This one, it's interesting.
No,
'cause
we had something that was 120 proof.
Booker's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Booker's
Oh,
was.
shit, that.
I still have a bottle of that in my cabinet.
Okay.
So 3.5
Okay.
years.
Did you bring that too?
Okay.
How much ice do you put in it?
Oh, David. David
Get some vanilla.
from the Navid.
We haven't had a Sean reference. How's our Sean search going?
You know, what's funny, Sean actually has another podcast now that he's doing. It's hilarious. Something like Hypochondriac or something.
Hypochondriactor.
Yeah, Hypochondriactor. That's
He's
right.
an actor.
Yeah. It's
Oh, I see what he did there.
It's very
Yeah, I see what he
funny.
did there.
He's a comedian.
But I do get posts from him every once in a while on Instagram,
Tobacco.
as
got
does
tobacco.
the other 3.5 million people who follow him, probably.
Yeah.
Caramel.
He hasn't responded to my request for do you like bourbon yet?
I think you're going to have to take it up a notch.
Do what are you going to do? Because this
Dave's
is
still, Dave's still doing his own
Yeah, I
thing.
know exactly.
Because we're trying to do a podcast here, guys.
We are doing a podcast. We're trying to get guests on our podcast.
No.
So this is in Madbury, New Hampshire.
I'm definitely
And it is-
smelling caramel for sure.
Bottled in Northampton, New Hampshire.
I'm getting tobacco, seriously.
I'm getting totally getting tobacco leaf.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm not smelling
I'm
that.
a fan
It's
of
hard to.
tobacco leaf.
This was what year was this one? Because they do
It's 3.5 years, so
but they do a quarterly release. So this is 2021-03.
right.
So this could be either March of 2021 or it could be fall of 2021.
I haven't smelled this close
Had to be
in
March
years.
because I picked it up in the spring.
Pow!
That's really good.
Yeah. Almost 119.
What? It does remind me a lot of Rare Breed. It's good.
It's very good.
It's definitely it has a really nice finish.
I would
I like
expect
that.
I would expect a little bit longer on the finish, but
I like that.
it is good.
That's very smooth.
Winter chicken dinner.
Okay. Good thing we didn't start with that one.
Oh yeah.
Well, we learned our lesson
Yeah, no
2
kidding.
episodes ago.
This
Yeah.
is true.
I can't feel my tongue anymore, but
I can't feel my toes.
Alton can.
Oh boy!
there is everything so wrong about that.
I didn't think that one
I'm
through.
just yeah. I'm just
Sorry,
gonna yeah.
Look at he's blushing for God's
I know.
sakes.
Wow.
trying to hold it in because we're friends.
This is good. I like
Yeah.
this one. This is unexpected.
So I actually too really like it. I don't believe it or not, Dave.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. But it definitely stays with you.
I like
Yeah.
it.
It's good though.
It is good.
Yeah.
This
This
is-
is one when it is really good and it's very drinkable, but you can totally tell this is not a 92 proof. I mean, this is this is hot.
Yeah,
Don't take a quick breath in.
Yeah, exactly.
This is cold weather.
I was just
bourbon.
gonna say this is
Sitting by the
Yeah.
fire.
Drop it.
exactly
Yeah.
to me. This is like sitting out by the fire in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop
Yeah,
your
coast in
drop
New
your
England.
smokes and
Yeah.
have one of
Yeah,
these.
this is tough. I like it though.
It is very good.
As my grandfather would say, this would put hair on your chest.
Oh my gosh, my
Right?
dad used to say that.
Yep. My sister never liked that.
Kurt's still looking for bourbon to put hair on his head.
No, I've given up on that.
So what are these in New Hampshire?
This is New Hampshire.
Did
Yep.
you get it in New Hampshire, or is
This
it
one
like
I
any
did-
kind of distribution on
I
it?
did get in New Hampshire. I don't know what the distribution is. I would imagine, pretty regional.
This is
I've just
And this is
like
the New England Barrel Company. Is that what this is called?
Yep. Very, very generic name.
Yeah, exactly. Way to go,
it's
guys.
like eating hot Thai food. I'm just waiting because like I feel it hasn't hit yet, and I'm afraid if I take another drink, it's gonna be
I get like a whole mouth
yeah.
tingle
Yeah,
to it.
very
Like,
good.
It's really.
very
yeah, that's the first time I picked up on that much tobacco in a bourbon before.
I don't get tobacco.
I don't
Oh,
get
man.
tobacco either.
I get more on the smell than
Oh
the
no,
taste.
it's all nose.
yeah.
No,
it is.
I'm not
It is there.
I'm not either.
And it's like,
I like the idea of it though.
yeah. It's like leaf tobacco. Not
It's like leaf
the-
tobacco.
not
Well,
like
do
smoking a
you
cigarette.
have
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
have a description on this one, or do you have any information for us?
No, this one was really hard to get because they mapped the description to the particular release. So the only release that was on their site was from 2020,
Okay.
and it was butterscotch and toffee, with caramel and baked apples, medium to long finish with spicy note. That's about
Apricot.
it. It's not a whole lot of description there.
Any mash bill? The only one I could find was, again, it wasn't tied for this, but I'm assuming they used the same mash bill and it was just different releases. The one I found was tied to a different release. It was 75-21 rye 4 barley.
I love that
So-
you did the research on these.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
I don't know what I had. I don't. What do you think? Is this like
Backing up.
random?
wow, did you feel that slap up the head?
No.
Okay.
Hey, he brought my nuts.
Then I
That's all
guess-
he was supposed to do, right?
I carried his nuts all the way over here from Mooresville.
And we thank you for that.
Well, Natalie said be careful with them. So
Yeah. So, but she didn't
I'm
necessarily.
surprised
say she
Natalie
wanted them
didn't
back.
say get rid of them.
Well, I was going to say she didn't say she wanted them back. So.
that's right.
Don't leave them here.
Yeah, this bourbon's been like, I don't know. This is a surprise and delight for me. I love that. It's good.
This may be a lake house kind of adventure.
Oh man, next. I
Do
don't-
we remember what happened to Dave at the lake house last time we went?
Yeah, checked out. I completely. But hey, I did rally.
You did.
I
You
rally.
did. You did the. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
But there was.
After he nearly cut his finger off cutting the meat on the counter.
But there was like a. Can we get a bag crack here? But
That was
there definitely was about a 2 hour lapse of memory.
We
where I'm like,
we literally sat down to eat this awesome brisket that
Dave,
Kratt had been
and Dave's
cooking.
like, I'll be right back.
And not even one bite. He's like, I'll be back.
3 hours later.
That was a good time.
That was the best tenderloin.
Oh, it was
I think
awesome.
that's right.
That was really good. That was a good
Yeah.
night. We
It
need
was
to
awesome.
we need to do that again.
Yeah, we
Yes,
will.
we should.
We need
Well,
to do that
Maybe we
again.
should drink a little bit less next time.
No.
Well, no, I think I just need
Whose
to
side
not.
are you on?
I need to wait. I need to wait and start when you guys show up. Is the problem? I was-
No, here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
you're
go.
all sides.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pre-game will do that.
Man, yeah. Well, pre-gaming.
So, Dave, road trips for you. As
So-
a car guy,
Oh,
what's
boy.
your road trip look like?
Man, there's like, I don't know. If you think about it, there's like road trips, like Alton was talking about. When you're a kid, there's a station wagon and a pickle jar, right?
Pickle. Okay, wait a second. Where does the pickle jar come into play?
Well,
We're not pulling
when
over.
Dad's not stopping. There's a pickle jar.
It's right next to the Pop-Tarts.
So we didn't have a pickle jar.
In the side of the
But
door.
Maybe because I had a sister and her, but that, I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. But so you got those childhood road trip memories, and we did a lot of.
Did you guys do the whole like, you got the floorboards in the back of the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like seatbelts, like screw
Oh.
the seatbelt. It was
Hell
like
yeah.
you put pillows down so
Yeah.
one of you could lay across the floorboard and one of you could lay on the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our kids have no concept.
Yeah,
No,
no clue.
I remember riding the back of station wagon
No
with
clue.
my Matchbox cars, like racing around. I mean, no seatbelt.
No.
None of that.
You turned out fine.
Well,
Debatable.
yeah, people would argue, but I mean, there's definitely the childhood memories of road tripping, and then there's the college time period of road tripping where it was just kind of like, hey, you want to go here, and you're like, yeah, that's 8 hours away, sure, let's go.
We got time.
Yeah, and then I think there's like that next phase is the early kind of marriage road trip where again you've got kind of that spontaneous, wanderlust, and you just drop of a hat, let's go do something. And then there's the kid thing, right?
Yeah.
Where that makes things a little bit more difficult. And it's like, I don't know, we got pulled over once. Mills was in the back seat, and I reached back to pinch her because I'd gotten pulled over by a cop, and I wanted the cop to give me some forgiveness on getting a ticket. But
How'd it work out?
I got a ticket.
It was written up for child abuse.
Yeah. But then you get back to what you were talking about, do with like that time with your spouse now that you're older. And I don't know that I've got a favorite. It would be really hard to kind of pin down. I've got certainly, well, I mean, this probably is a favorite. So Sarah, when we were first started dating, this was before we were engaged, we drove from Greensboro to Dundee, Illinois to visit her family. And it was the first time I met like everybody. And that was a super cool trip. Because it was like you said, there was no rush to get there. And so it's like we would just stop. And that was pre-Yelp or anything else in terms of recommendations. And so you just kind of went into a town and drove around, and that looks like a cool place. Let's stop there and eat.
Nice.
But that's probably the most memorable. And not necessarily because of the actual drive itself, but just the destination. And once we did arrive there, connecting with her family and getting to meet, her extended group. That's probably my favorite.
That's cool.
But certainly tons of them as a child traveling.
You did road trip internationally too.
Yeah, we did. So we spent
Took delivery in Sweden.
Yeah. We drove a Volvo wagon around Europe for I think a month, 3 months, something like that.
That's so cool.
Camping on the entire time, but
That
again,
is
no
cool.
no seatbelt usage. But
Yeah, exactly.
but it's fun. I think it's probably the closest thing we have now, modern day form of adventure, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
You get in your hopefully trusty steed and drive off to some new area that you've never been before,
Yep.
right? So
I like it. I like the European part of it too.
It was cool. It was very cool.
Kurtron, did you have a good road
Trusty
trip?
steed.
Your trusty steed. Did you ever take your trusty steed out and somewhere you enjoy? Obviously, your Wisconsin trip was not where you wanted to be.
With,
I'll be right back. I gotta go look that up.
All right.
with the taste of leather.
So do you guys think like our kids?
Yeah.
So obviously we've taken our kids on road trips, but they'll be the first to tell you I'd rather fly, so they can play on their phone the whole damn time. But what do you think? At what point will our kids, will they ever, and I say our kids, this next generation, be like, you know what? It is pretty cool to
Slow it down.
just slow down, look at the road for a while, and then drive, or is it kind of is it a thing of the past? Airfare travel's cheaper than it's ever been.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I
what do
know.
you guys think?
The accessibility of it, I think, has taken that charm away, that wanderlust of. There's nothing holding us back from right now. Just getting in the car and pointing in one direction, just going until you hit the edge.
Mills and Drew are doing it right now. So I mean, they like flew out west and rented a car, and they're driving all through Montana and Wyoming.
Well, that's cheating. But
Well, they did fly there. But I mean, they're spending 6 to 7, 8 hours a day driving from
driving around
destination to
checking it.
destination.
Yeah. How tight is their schedule?
Oh my God, there's a 3-page. I mean, it is
Did
planned.
Kurt hook them up?
It is like planned down. It is planned down for sure. Where they're going to be, where they're going to watch the sunset, where they're going to have lunch. I mean, it's
Yeah.
What if
But-
it's cloudy outside?
I don't know. Chris.
It's not in the schedule.
Mills, can you call in, please?
Yeah. Yeah. Before we finish eating all the Halloween mix.
Yeah, I think there's a little romanticism about a road trip that I think a lot of the younger generations aren't going to experience.
See, I wonder if they're not going to. Oh my God, that's hot. I wonder if they're not going to experience, or if they'll just figure it out on their own terms. I hope it's the latter, but I mean, you bring up a
Maybe.
good point. Is like what's gonna push them in that space.
Yeah.
But what about the whole van life movement? I mean, you got tons of people out there that are
Yeah.
driving around and blogging while
I mean,
they do it.
I
but-
think
Yeah.
Love it.
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with some of the younger generation.
Yeah.
Because I do think they're going back a little bit to simplicity and really valuing some of the more important things in life versus pursuing these big ass careers. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Totally will.
I would like to see mobility come back as a form of recreation versus function. And I think it's just I think for too long I've been just function. Like I got to get from A to B.
Yep.
With as few stops and as
Yep.
little traffic as possible.
Yep.
Says the guy who bought
And
an
missed
airline ticket to the Bourbon Trail trip.
Nah, that's fair. I had a coupon.
Very good.
I had 2 companion tickets.
I didn't
Cost me
have a coupon. I'm just going because I want to be cool like dude.
So just for the record, you got the McClellans and the Jansons who are going road trip style.
That's right.
The Gripsteins, the Woods, and the Kratts.
Somebody's gotta-
you know what? Support corporate America.
Somebody's got to carry all the bourbon back home. Appreciate you guys volunteering.
That would be the road trip crew.
Yes, appreciate the mule.
Yep.
I think
No,
there's a
I
fee
agree.
per mile.
Oh, absolutely. You haven't seen that yet. We'll work on that math on the way up.
Exactly. All right. So, what do you think, guys?
I like 2 of the 4. I'm a Kinsey and a what's this? New England
Barrel.
bourbon. Yep, New England Barrel. Yep, the chicken cock and the 4 grain from
Phoenixville.
Bluebird. Yeah, not
Nice.
as much, but I like the Kinsey.
Okay, Dave.
So look at the color difference between chicken cock.
Dave.
And,
That's stout.
yeah.
Dave.
The New England barrel.
Wait, is this our last call?
All day long.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh,
We just
okay.
jumped to the
We're going
finish
around
line.
the
Yeah,
table.
Exactly.
I think we've got them kind of actually organized the way that I like them right now. So New England and chicken cock over there, and then these other 2 over here.
What are the other 2?
The other 2 would be 4 grains and Kinsley.
Okay.
The interesting thing about the other 2 picks is one is like completely on the left side of the spectrum in terms of oomph, and New England is all the way on the other end, just totally kicking ass in terms of spice and flavor. So
It's hearty.
it is very hearty.
Yeah. I only like the New England one on the table right now. I was not a fan of the rest.
Okay.
Yeah. What would you do if we told you it was a rye? And that label is a lie.
Oh, please.
It's a rye lie.
Just remember, we're not bourbon snobs, Drew.
This is
Yeah.
true. This is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could spend a few more bucks on their labeling just for the
Yeah,
So
posterity.
It's like saltwater taffy.
I do like
exactly what it's like.
I do like the Kinsey.
Throw a lighthouse on there.
I will tell you that I'm actually really enjoying the New England. So,
Yep.
but I would take the Kinsley. Is it Kinsey or Kinsley?
Kinsey.
No L.
There's
Kinsey.
no L.
Okay.
Kinsey.
There might be an L after a couple of those.
Yeah. Kratt introduced one just for those of you keeping score at home.
That's right.
Did I say
you
Kinsley?
You did.
Yeah,
That's good.
Thank you. Thank you for blaming it on Dave. I appreciate
You
that.
guys should know better. The label should face me so I can read it.
So, Dave, last call.
Yeah, what about it? All right, here's the last call.
Oh, Dave's got last call.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Send the instructions.
We each are going on a road trip. Okay.
Love it.
With
Who would you take on your road trip, and what bourbon would you take with you? And it doesn't have to necessarily be on this table.
That made it less awkward.
And but you can, hey, if you want to take something off the table, you can. And whoever you're going to take with you could be dead or alive. It doesn't matter. I mean, you don't want them dead in the
more
car.
awkward.
Should we like say it can't be your bride so we all
Yeah.
have like immunity?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Thinking ahead.
I think we were all thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Natalie, of course. Let me start
Yes.
this.
But why would I bring bourbon?
So, Kurt, you're first.
I'm first.
Sure. Why not?
Okay. So that's a tough one because I think there's a lot of different people that I can think of.
Oh, and just for kicks and giggles, you have to tell us what kind of car you would be taking.
Fair enough. So So here's the challenge, right? I can't take any of you because if I pick one of you, then the other two are going to be offended or grateful, maybe.
I won't be offended.
I won't be offended.
I'm out. I'm good. I'm good.
Suddenly he's driving alone.
This is why I'm in therapy.
God, can you believe he picked Dew? Poor guy.
Poor Derek.
You're taking me. Oh my God, you're taking
Enjoy,
me back
Derek.
to grade school.
All right, come on, Kurt. We love you.
You know, I'm kind of going in two different places. One kind of old friends, and then two more newer friend. I probably would take my buddy Gary Fee, who I think some of you have met.
Mm-hmm. Good guy.
And I would take a big bottle of Buffalo Trace.
And where are you going?
We are going to go to Savannah in the BMW.
Nice.
I like that.
Which is a convertible 19.
It's an 88 convertible,
It is
325.
sweet, by the way.
Also called an E30, if anybody cares.
An E30. That's right.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
I think because like he flew down to Florida with me to get it, and we had an amazing trip coming back up, and it was just a really, I mean, it was kind of like the epitome of a road trip, right? It was kind of like a Thelma and Louise type of trip, except we didn't go driving off a cliff.
The ending.
Except the ending, yeah. But it was a really great bonding time. It was just fun to be in the car, and we had such a great time at Savannah at this place called the Artillery that I really love. And yeah, it was just a good, memorable trip.
It's
Very
cool.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Good.
So,
Derek's.
but if I
looks
were
like
to
he's
pick
thinking-
one of you,
Yeah, really.
just kidding.
it would not be Kratt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to be at home.
All right, Tune. Where are you going? Who you with? What you drinking? What you driving?
All right, let's see. This is kind of fun. I like this one. And I'm going to stay with something on the table here. I would take the hot New England Barrel
There you
Company,
go. Yeah.
the 118 proof. I'm taking my grandpa.
Oh,
So you guys have heard me talk about him before. Just great guy. Passed away way too young. I knew him well, but I didn't know him as well as I want to as an adult. So got a lot of questions to ask. Take the 118 because I think he appreciated a hot, good time. So I want to get straight. I want to get straight into it.
there you go.
We would be heading.
That's a great answer.
I don't know that much about his history, but I know that he was in the Navy. So I'll say, let's just go to Annapolis. There may be some ties there. So we'll head up
That's
the
cool.
coast, great coastal town. And we would actually be taking my very first car, which you get ready for envy here, from a 16-year-old kid. Imagine this. 1967 Camaro convertible.
yeah, boy.
It was my very first car.
Wow.
So,
What?
yeah, so throw Luke in the passenger seat, grab that bottle of New England, and head that way with a lot
Dang,
of
a
questions.
67.
Why did you get rid of that?
67, because I was a dumbass. Well, actually, seriously, at that point, it was like from practicality, I couldn't drive it to school because it overheated anything over like 30 miles. So I couldn't go back and forth to college, so I had to sell it. But yeah.
We could have
I
fixed
love
that.
it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
You could have fixed that.
Yeah. So me and Luther headed to Annapolis.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's
I love
awesome.
it. All right, dude.
That's a good trip.
You
Man,
can say me. It's okay.
If Kurt's not available. No, I was. It was funny when you said that. I started just going through the list of. There are so many people I'd want to do a road trip with.
And Kurt was not on the
He's,
list.
he's on the list.
Okay, that's
He's
good.
on the
All
list.
right, all
He's
right.
on the list.
Which page?
And I think it's
alternate.
you're a
Exactly.
backup driver.
On page 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the bus driver.
I think I went down Alton's path about is it a family member that you want to spend more time with and go back in history and get some answers? Is it a celebrity that you're just you want to be hostage in a car with and go? I need to know more about how this works. I'm gonna ask my dad to go, and we're gonna grab a camper van,
There you go.
and we're gonna go no direction. We're just gonna go, and
That's good.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
we're probably gonna go west. I don't think he's been. I don't know how far west he's been, which we'll find out.
Yeah, there we go.
But I think there's a lot of country to see and a lot of time to spend together.
That's
and,
cool.
And when you start thinking about how short, how short time is, and
Yeah.
how we just don't see enough of each other, I would
Yep.
do that.
Very cool.
Awesome.
And I'll take what's on the table. I'll take New England with us all day long.
Yeah.
and that will put you to sleep at night.
Yeah,
Wake up first thing in the morning. That's
Stay in a crappy hotel, hard bed, doesn't matter.
No
Just
idea.
get 2 shots of that, and we're good.
It's just a parking lot. So
Dave? Again, it's okay.
We said no spouses, right?
Huh?
We said no brides. We're not
No,
doing.
you cannot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot
No,
take Sarah.
you
I know how
can't
much-
take Sarah.
I know how
All
much
right.
you want to take Sarah.
Yeah.
Or any of the girls, you just can't.
I'm afraid if I took Sarah, we might not get as far as we are supposed to go because we'd get in trouble and arrested or something or another. But I would.
I thought you were going to your hormones since we've been talking about.
To my hormones. What are you saying? I think similar to do. We're getting feedback again.
Stop talking
I'll
so
take that.
loud.
I'll take it on post.
Similar to do. I think I'd turn left and go to Crater Lake. It's either in Oregon or Washington.
It's in Oregon.
It's in Oregon. Really, really spectacular place. I would take my buddy Mark Beaker. You guys have talked.
Yeah.
Y'all have met him.
Yep.
That's a good guy to have.
Yeah.
In case something breaks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
for
can
sure.
fix
But
it.
I'd probably a 1974 Porsche 911 Carrera.
All right. Pack light.
Pack light. Yeah.
Or don't pack at all.
Yeah. I mean, all you need is a change of underwear for the most part. And I'm thinking I'd probably go with the New England too. Mark's a big Buffalo Trace guy, and that could like introduce him to something a little bit more umphy. But yeah, I think that's what I'd do.
Is that a word, umphy?
It is now.
With a wire.
So, have y'all been to Crater Lake before?
Liz.
No.
So Liz has, because Liz lived out there, and she's been to Crater Lake multiple times.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she loves
I mean,
it.
it is the one place I've been in the world that is like completely took my breath away.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I think Glacier's like that too.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard amazing things about Crater.
That's a good adventure.
Yeah.
And Beaker's the right guy to have.
Especially if you're driving a car
That's
made in 1974. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you are the only two that could handle that trip.
Yeah. We've
With each other.
we've had a couple of road trips. One was to Chapel Hill, and that we will not talk
Which
about
is like,
that.
which
We
is
won't-
like 2 hours away. So don't,
Well, that-
don't oversell
And which
that
was
big
like
guy.
last weekend.
Yeah, no, exactly.
When-
don't
when you're-
oversell that.
when
Unless
you're
you're listening from Idaho.
Yeah. Our one listener, Tracy from Wisconsin.
Thank
we
you,
were
Tracy.
we were in high school, so that trip was it was interesting.
Yeah.
So
Very cool, guys.
yeah.
Well, listen, as always, another great episode. It's always, always good to be with you guys. And so we've tasted four good bourbons. We didn't necessarily like them all equally the same. But Kinsey, 4-grain bourbon, chicken cock, and New England, and ranging anywhere from, I think it's 90 proof all the way up to 118, almost 119
You
proof.
got it, yeah.
So some good taste tonight. Some liked them, some didn't.
Yep.
But anyway, for those that are listening, if you like the episode, be sure to subscribe to our series and hit the notification button so you get updates when we drop another episode like this one, episode 27.
Hey, quick shout out to our bud Carol Edelman, who found us a friend in Idaho.
Yahoo!
Jeff.
We
Jeff
are in
Reitzel.
Idaho.
Jeff Reitzel.
Hey,
awesome.
let's make a call out to Jeff.
Yeah.
Shout to Jeff. Shout to Carol. You guys stopped a which would have been a newsworthy fight
Yeah.
on our podcast.
Hey, Jeff, if you'll send us an email with your shirt size, we got a little Bourbon Boy shirt coming your way.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. And maybe a bottle of bourbon from Idaho would be great. So leave
in
us
exchange, that is.
leave us a rating, give us your feedback so that we can make these better for you. And if you want to learn about tonight's bourbon visit, our site is bourbonon.com, where you can also order Bourbon Boys merchandise, as
Most of the
Elton
time.
just referenced. Most of the time.
And
That's right.
we will take road trip ideas.
And we
would
will
love
take
any
road trip ideas.
Any
That's
interaction
right.
at all. would be
Absolutely.
great.
Shoot us an email. So anyway, gentlemen, looks like we are at the end of the episode. Again, always good to see you guys, most of you anyway, and really enjoyed spending the time together and sampling some really good bourbon tonight. So, guys, bourbon on.
Bourbon on.
Bourbon on.
boys.